and welcome. This is the first lesson in Revit. This one here is 2023. When you first open Revit, you have 3 examples of projects and 3 examples of families. Now you may not be familiar at all with Revit, but that's what this series of lessons is about, to familiarize you with basic Revit and get you going with it. So Revit will provide, when you first load it onto your computer and you first open it, 3 samples like you see here: architectural, structural, and systems. Plus it will have 3 sample families in the same categories. But what families basically is, they are separate files that you create that do all sorts of things. I mean, it's limitless what you can do with these families, same as your models. But the great thing about these is these are entities that remain separate, and you can then put them in any number of models you want. And they don't have to be like this can go into here, this can go into here, this can go into here. It doesn't matter. They don't strictly go into that category. They just happen to be named that way. Any family can go into any Revit model, is my point. What a family does is you create, like right here, you have what looks like a table. And now you can take that table and you can insert it into this model and put it just about anywhere you want. Now, depending on how you design your family, it can go only vertical, only horizontal, or it can go in any direction. It all depends on how you create it. And what you do with it, like I said, is you put it into the model and use it there. And one great thing about families, even though it's a separate file, once you insert it into the model, it's a permanent part of the model. You don't have to keep the family file in the same directory as the model. Even if you lose track of the original file, you can always get it back through the model. By double-clicking on it in the model, brings up a separate window, and now you have that separate file open that you can edit or save as, so you can actually get it back and be able to find it on your computer again. Because trust me, when you start getting into working with Revit, you're going to start creating so many families, you might lose track of where you put them, unless you're very organized. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm semi-organized. Okay, so let's open a basic model, brand new model. Not an existing one, but a brand new one. Now, when you first open it, up pops this little window that says project to project template. You want project. You have choices here: construction, architectural, structural, systems templates. Metric of the same. Now, since I'm in America, I will be doing a imperial architectural template. So let's open up this architectural template. It's going to be blank. Okay, nothing in it. All right, so this is what it looks like when you first open a blank template. And so here, let me just show you these tabs really quickly. You got the architectural tab, and these are all the things that you can load into your brand new template. Yes, there are many, and you're never going to learn Revit in a few minutes. That's one thing. But you can learn enough that can get you going. And then you learn more and more as you work on it. Structure, you can load all of these things, develop all of these things. Steel, same thing. Precast, that was a business I was in a few years back, and it's neat to see that they actually have precast in here. Systems, which is piping, plumbing, all that other good stuff. And of course, now it gets to your insert, different things you can insert. Your annotation, which is very important, your aligned, linear, angular, etc. dimensions. Your text, okay, which of course you can have a text with an arrow, with a straight arrow, with a curved arrow. It's endless what you can do. And then you can analyze things. Massing in sight, that's more for landscaping. And then you can collaborate with other people, of course. And then view is very important. Of course, you can manage everything from this tab. And then things you want to add in, And of course, modify is something you're going to use the most. You're going to see this tab come up the most. So if you're at all familiar with AutoCAD, the big difference between AutoCAD and Revit, even though they're part of the same Autodesk, is there are not, with the exception of your two key shortcuts in Revit, there is no command line. You can see down here, like AutoCAD, you can type everything in as a command line. In Revit, that's not the case. You're strictly using these macros here. Okay, there is typing when you want it. Like for instance, I have it in text, and so you can certainly type text. All right, I'll undo that. But as far as the command line, that doesn't exist. Now, it took some getting used to for me, but not for long. When I went from 2D AutoCAD to 3D Revit, yeah, I found myself typing in commands, and then I said, oh, no, I can't do that. I have to find the macro. That's what these are. These are macros. You may have heard that word before. Let's really quick go into architectural, and let's construct a basic few walls. Now you see, whenever you mouse over one of these, it gives you a little description. Okay, window, component, column, and that's the same for every one of these here, up to systems, structure, steel, precast systems. When you mouse over something, it's going to give you just a little preview of what it is. Okay, so let's start with a wall.